Here are the disturbing 911 calls that sent SWAT teams rushing into local schools for bombs and shooters, and where investigators tracked the 11-year-old suspect down to. Plus,
get your hands out of the car! Hands out!
Putting other drivers in danger, what this man said to deputies after refusing to pull over.
The grades are in. How schools in our fastest growing county are working to become an A district. Now at 6.
Local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 News starts now.
Now we start taking a live look over Orlando. Raindrops on the lens as scattered storms pop up across Central Florida. Not everyone is seeing the rain, but those who are getting drenched.
Just 10 minutes ago, downtown was getting soaked. First warning chief meteorologist Tony Manalfi has an eye on the radar, and you're tracking where those storms are going tonight, Tone.
Yeah, we think the focus is going to be just to the west, guys, of the I-4 corridor. That's why we're calling it impact weather evening here. Now focusing more towards the Lake County area between now and 8, and also on into Sumter and Marion. Marion's had a lot of rain here the last couple of days, and we're about to get a very large collision here through Lake County, and depending upon the movement of that, if it moves north and west into Marion County, we could have some flooding concerns. So that's something we're going to be watching here very diligently over the next half hour to 45 minutes. There's Astor, little downpour of some moderate to heavy rain. We've had a couple of showers that were working through the attractions, now building off towards the north and the west, and a very large outflow boundary from those earlier storms about to collide with see how this begins to move. Is the east flow strong enough to push that rain back into Marion County? If it is, then we could have some more issues with some high water there. East Orlando, a couple showers falling apart. Lake Nona and down towards the airport. Heavy rain also winding down. Turnpike is good, except near St. Cloud. So the focus one more time is going to be right here. Lake County, Marion, and Sumter County between now and about 8 o'clock. We'll keep tabs on that. If we get any flood advisories, guys, we'll be the first to let you know.
Tony, thank you. New tonight, Flagler County deputies say that a child is now charged with threatening schools across our area. We showed you this body camera video in May of deputies running through schools in Flagler and Volusia counties looking for bombs and shooters. The boy behind this, allegedly just 11 years old and lives in Virginia.
WESH 2's Luana Munoz is bringing us the 911 calls that sparked all the panic. Meanwhile, just released 911 calls offer insight into the chaos after a man was shot and killed in Sanford. Investigators found 22-year-old Brandon Leo in his pickup Saturday night. They say he had backed into a retention pond as it was being fired upon. Leo had been shot in the head. As for a motive, police say it was an online transaction and that Leo was trying to sell headphones.
911, do you need police, fire, or medical?
Probably both, sir. There have been gunshots fired.
It's a shootout. It's a shootout in front of my house.
Investigators are hoping someone in the community can help them identify the people who approached the truck in the moments before that shooting started.
Marion County deputies say a man was driving so drunk he didn't even notice they were trying to pull him over.
Get your hands out of the car! Hands out! Hands out of the car! Step out!
Other drivers called 911. This white truck was all over the road on I-75 Sunday night. You can see that driver did not pull over until deputies tried spinning his car. In handcuffs, the driver had no clue what he did wrong.
I did not run from you. Man, if you would have just pulled me over.
The driver, Cody Vetter, admitted to having 3 to 5 beers earlier in the day, but his blood alcohol level says that was almost 3 times the legal limit and more beers likely.
A jury has found an Orlando pastor who is a self-proclaimed prophet guilty of murdering his wife. That's after jurors were shown the surveillance video of Sylvester Afori shooting his wife, Barbara Tomei, to death as she walked into work at a Navy Federal Credit Union 4 years ago. During an interrogation by Orlando police, Afori said he did it because his wife was cheating on him. Afori now faces life in prison. A Brevard County mother turned her 18-year-old son in for allegedly shooting a stranger walking down the road. Jair Manuel Rivera was in court this afternoon for charges of attempted murder and firing a gun from a vehicle. Investigators say a middle-aged man was walking on Palm Avenue in Cocoa early Monday morning when when Rivera pulled up in a van and shot him. The sheriff's office tells us the victim is expected to survive.
2 astronauts who piloted Boeing's Starliner test flight will have to stay in space a little longer. Stop me if you've heard this before. They are more than a month late returning from what was supposed to be a week-long stay at the International Space Station. There's still not a return date set.
NASA and Boeing did give an update today on thruster and helium leak problems, though. WESH News Tonight, Gabriel has more on the final tests being done right now to get the crew back home safely.
An aviation company plans to open a new assembly plant at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. This could create more than 1,000 new jobs, paying an average of $73,000. The company, called Aura Aero Inc., says the manufacturing and assembly plant will be 500,000 square feet. State leaders say that Aura Aero first started working with Embry-Riddle last July at the Paris Air Show. They say that they are grateful the French company is bringing its business to Florida.
Organizers are now finishing the final preparations today for the Olympic opening ceremony on the River Seine in Paris. Entire parts of central Paris are closed to cars, and people need passes to get to certain areas right now. Instead of walking into a stadium, more than 10,500 athletes will parade down the river through the heart of Paris on more than 90 boats. And you can watch the one-of-a-kind ceremony right here on WESH 2 tomorrow, starting at 7:30.
And after the opening ceremony, join Michelle Imperato and I on Saturday night at Universal Orlando Resort for the Olympic Zone. We're going to be set up on City Walk, broadcasting the show live Monday through Saturday at 7:30 throughout the games.
And a quick programming note for you. Starting tomorrow and throughout the Olympics, WESH 2 News at 4 and 5 p.m. will air on CW18. The news is back on WESH 2 at 6 and 7. Then stick around for the Olympic Zone at 7:30 right here on WESH 2. And here's a way to stoke your Olympic spirit. Adopt an athlete into your home. Seminole County Animal Services is running Pawlympics starting tomorrow. They have a dog named after Simone Biles, another named after Sha'Carri Richardson, and other Olympic athlete names can be found in the dogs that run in Animal Services that are at capacity right now. The normal $50 adoption fee is only $5 throughout the duration of the Olympics.
We can't wait to have all of the Olympic vibe coming straight here to the shelter. So we have all of our Olympians here available for adoption.
All of the K9 Olympians are ready to move in with their current vaccination microchips so that they can be located if and when necessary. All right, the grades are in.
And our fastest growing county is looking to build momentum to an A. See how also the county is keeping up with more students and working to improve their learning experience.
Ahead for us from Paris, the big change just announced at Southwest Airlines, why reserve seating will now be required, and the vital role of the River Seine to these Olympics and to all of Paris when we see you for Nightly News.
The Olympic Zone.
Live from Universal Orlando Resort.
Join us each night during the Paris Olympics
for in-depth coverage of the games,
the highlights,
medal counts,
and a behind-the-scenes look at what's happening from Paris.
Plus, follow our own local athletes on their quest to win gold. We are thrilled to be hosting the Olympic Zone.
Live from Universal Orlando Resort. Are you ready for the games?
We are.
Beginning Saturday at 7:30. Brought to you on WESH 2 by Advent Health.
Report cards are in, and the state says our fastest growing county has seen some big improvements.
They are. The district got a B last year for high student achievement, graduation rates, and learning gains. WESH News' Megan Mulatto is talking to the superintendent about how the district is building on this year's results.
WESH 2 News is being honored for journalism focused on courts and the law.
Yeah, pretty incredible. Today in Orlando, investigative reporter Greg Fox and chief photojournalist Pete Dellis there were recognized by the Florida Bar for their report featuring death row interview with mass murderer Tommy Ziegler. Now, Greg was also this year's recipient of the Florida Bar's Susan Spencer Wendell Lifetime Achievement Award for outstanding legal journalism over an extended period of time. Greg's reporting has led to new charges against several local murderers and rapists in cold cases, changes in law when it comes to tracking violent crimes, and a change in Orlando police policy when it comes to retaining DNA and other scientific evidence in violent crimes. So major congratulations to him.
Awesome.
And Pete.
Yes.
They're great.
All right, let's talk now about your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi. Tony, it's some scattered showers that are still out there.
Yeah, we're watching this collision taking shape right now to see if we're going to see a big uptick in thunderstorms through Lake County. And I'll break that down here for you in a second. And we've got Marion County up there because if these storms do generate and head to the north and west, they could move into Marion County on the heels of of all the rain you've had, that's something that we have to watch very, very carefully. You can see where it's been raining. Temperatures in the 70s, low 80s. Where it's not been raining, it's still in the upper 80s to around the 90-degree mark. All right, live radar for you right now shows a very long, thin line. That's one component of an outflow boundary, and another one that's colliding with it as we speak that I'll show you with a different product. Getting a little bit of a break right now, thankfully. The northern tip there near Citra, still a few light showers. Speaking of which, one right there near Astor. I-4 East, I-95, Oak Hill, New Smyrna Beach. Oak Hill, you guys are in great shape. Look at that little line coming through Leesburg, right down the turnpike. And there's a thin line that doesn't show very well until you put on the velocity product. And now you can see where there's going to be a collision. Will there be enough oomph between both of these little boundaries to produce more storms? We're about to find out here over the next 15 to 20 minutes. Farther south and east, we do have a couple of showers here along the beach line, 417, that are falling apart. East of St. Cloud, a couple more showers here beginning to pop on up. We'll watch the trends on them, but we're going to watch where that collision takes shape and see if it is able to spread off towards the north and the west. Some of the in-house futurecast models we are looking do indeed show that happening, but they don't initialize very, very well. So we've kind of done it manually yet again for you. But with the storms comes the wind and the lightning and the potential for some heavy rain. That's why we've got that impact icon in there, at least through 7 o'clock anyway. Once the sun sets, we'll be in much better shape. Overnight, pretty quiet, mild, humid. Let's take a look at Futurecast here now. For tomorrow, you can see out the door 8, 9, 10 o'clock, not bad. East breeze working in, a few showers at noon. West breeze working on in. There's your collision, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. Once we get past sunset, things do indeed begin to wind down. Look at the heavier amounts of rain. Pockets of yellow and orange, 2, 3, maybe even 4 inches of rain. That's why the flood threat's going to be elevated north and west of town. And once again, on Saturday into Marion County, where you've had the most rain here over the last 7 to 10 days. Low 90s at the beaches, 93 to 95 back through the interior, but feeling like 105 tomorrow. Heading into the weekend, higher storm coverage, more clouds. It'll make it feel a little bit more bearable, as feels like temperatures will be in the upper 90s to around 100. Daytona Beach, showers and storms getting in fairly early tomorrow, and those will be sticking around all weekend long with that front. Just to the north of I-10, showers and storms. The coverage is going to be running at about 60 to 70% as we head into the upcoming weekend. Temperatures 94 and 93 respectively. All right, let's head out towards the tropical Atlantic. Wave coming off the west coast of Africa. Not going to develop in the short run, but longer range. We'll have to watch this, as a few of our computer models are hinting at maybe something trying to develop. The global models, the European does try to develop something east of central Florida on the 3rd and 4th of August. The American GFS model is not on board with that scenario. Here's what the Europeans doing. There's that wave. Once it gets into the Bahamas, it may have a better chance to try to develop into something a bit more significant, if that scenario even pans out. I'm not in that camp just yet, but we do want to keep you checking back in for updates. Here's what you do need to know, though. Heading into the weekend, Darren, those rain chances are going up. As your poolside, keep an eye on the lightning.
Staple of consistency, Tony. All right, coming up in sports, we had an update from Mike Norvell on his quarterback, DJ Uiagalelei, because the Seminoles have already opened camp. Coming up next, we're also talking high school football media days. Yeah, the colleges had their turn to talk. Now it is time for the boys of fall. Sports is next.
WESH 2 Sports is sponsored by Mullinax Ford, Florida's largest Ford retailer. For upfront pricing and no dealer fees, shop Mullinax, where car buying is simple, easy, fun. Now, WESH 2 Sports, sponsored by Mullinax Ford.
We made it. It's football season. Hello, everybody. I'm Darren Stoltz. First, we talked college football media days. Now, all 32 NFL teams have opened training camp, and today, school football. Now, granted, they can't actually start practice until Monday, but talking season is here for them as well. That is it for sports. More news when we come back.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Advent Health.
We have several stories we are following for you tonight at 7. First, water pump issues in parts of Marion County are leaving residents with little to no water pressure.
The area is now under a boil water notice because of it, and the efforts underway to fix the problems.
Plus, crimes uncovered at a local federal prison. The probe into the allegations and how officials hope to make sure nothing like this ever happens again.
Then 911 calls reveal more about the moments after a man was shot and killed while trying to sell a pair of headphones. The ongoing search for his accused killers.
That's our report for tonight. NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt is next.
We'll see you again at 7 and then at 10 and 11. Have a great night.